great shows. I know you've told me before you don't watch much TV. So what do you watch? What do you like? And what do you feel like you may have missed out on?
Well, there was a time when I did more TV watching, and the real test for me was if there was an hour show, could I watch it without falling asleep? Because that's my biggest problem. And there was one show, this was back when I was working in Detroit, so it had to be in the 07, 08, but the show 24 was out during that time, and I absolutely lived for 24. Yep. I would be awake through the entire thing and wanted more at the end of the hour. That's how you know it was a really good show. And then, and again, it's sometimes you do, if you're spending time with someone and they have an interest, you end up doing what they like to do, and that would be the case for me with regard to TV shows. But Dexter became another one that I had a strong affinity for. Matter of fact, my son's middle name is Harrison, and that is after Harrison on the show Dexter, Dexter's son.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it's a true story. And so, Dexter, I tend towards more the, what I would call the demented, so Dexter was a pretty demented idea. It was a good, bad guy, if you will.
Right.
And
I'm going to hit on a theme here. To me, all the great works of art and suspense when it comes to TV, movies, novels, whatever else, are ones where the good people have their major flaws and the bad people have just something that makes you identify with them in some way.
It's so true. Yeah. Yeah. And I the books I used to read were James Patterson books, the serial killer types. And I really got hooked for a long time with that, but I can't tell you the last time I picked up a James Patterson. I know there's many more. But I just, I would say it's probably pretty broad in the shows. If you go on my DVR, I used to joke that, what you'd find on the DVR was Young and the Restless. But I stopped cold turkey, Young and the Restless, probably, 3-4 years ago, and you won't find it. It's still on the DVR, but it's not because of me. But I'm going to draw a blank. I was just asked to delete the I love Scandal. Of course, I love Scandal. But I'm not anywhere near caught up. I'm probably 3 seasons behind. I'm that person that, watched for a couple seasons and then, a show like Orange is the New Black, which was so popular. I can't sit down.
I really liked that one.
And I heard it was great, and I watched a little bit.
Of course, I watch a lot of it I watch a lot of my stuff on planes, and usually when you're on a plane, you're probably preparing for a game or the next practice. So,
but there's just so many, we have so much, the players have a lot of downtime, and the players watch so many shows. And, they're up on the most current things, and they're always talking about it, and they all sound interesting to me, but I just can't invest the time.
Right.
For me, it feels like if I'm watching a show and not a video, I feel like that's an hour that I'm going to feel like, maybe I'm not as prepared as I should be. And that's a flawed personality trait that I have that I probably could seek some help on because I think you can do both. You can find a way to do both. And but the show, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know why. It was on ABC Family. It was The Fosters.
Oh, okay. I was
just getting ready to say it was a Foster family. That's the name of the show, The Fosters. And so that's not, that doesn't fit, the categories that you're talking about of, kind of the good guy and the bad guy. This is more of a family going through, having foster kids and, the challenges and success stories and that sort of thing. But again, I'm behind. I'm only behind a full season on that one versus, a few seasons in many of the others. So, I don't know. I just, it happened later in life. I wasn't always like this, but now I just literally can't imagine, coming home and taking a couple hours and watching TV. It feels like I'm wasting time.
Wow. You're making me feel really bad about myself.
No. And I wish I was different. I wish I was different because I want to, because I think you need, mindless or take you somewhere else. You need that release. My wife, so in addition to, her day job, she has an outlet. She's a musician like yourself.
Right.
And I am so envious of people that have that other thing that they can downstairs and, write music, play music, listen to music, and just have something that can completely take you away. And I probably need to find that. And, Oliver, our son, definitely any free time that I have, he's gonna fill that in some way and spending time with him. And But TV is not a part of it. That's his latest thing is somebody introduced him to YouTube Kid videos, and that's all he wants to do is watch videos, either videos on your phone or videos on the iPad. And so, we can't be at dinner. We can't be whenever he has downtime. I want to watch videos. So, I just haven't joined it, but he certainly has.
I have more thoughts on this topic. I do want to thank Gloria Ramsey and her company, Successful Marketing Group. Digital marketing is vital for your business, but it's overwhelming and confusing. Successful Marketing Group is passionately committed to helping businesses get found, get customers, and build dreams, providing digital marketing packages with proven results. Go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve for a free 45-minute audit and action plan. Successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve. So along the TV lines, I will say that if you ever have the time or decide to invest the time, and I'm not saying you should, it's probably better. There are times I will watch TV and I'll go, I could have done something so much more valuable with that time. But I do like the escapism. I've reached a point in my life where I like not watching sports sometimes, and there's always a sport you can watch on TV. Justified. See, to go down the literary track, I used to read heavy literature. I used to read Steinbeck and Faulkner and all that stuff. Now I'm much more of an escape artist. Lee Child. If you like James Patterson, I think Lee Child to me, he's the best thriller writer out there.
Okay.
Stephen Hunter, Stephen with a PH, writes incredible stuff. Elmore Leonard is always a big one of he's passed now, but his stuff, he might be the best crime novelist I ever read. John Le Carre, I think it's pronounced. I have studied the Cold War to the nth degree, and sometimes you learn so much more from fiction writers than you do from nonfiction, because the fiction writers, they don't have to get the name right or the fact right. They can just kind of tell you what was really happening. And Mick Herron is my new espionage spy type.
I love all that stuff too.
Yeah, it's really fascinating stuff.
And one of the things I'm a little more into that I will take the time to watch, and I think it's because there's not a follow up next week and the week after, and I would get behind. Right? Yeah, documentaries. I enjoy watching. That made me think of that, especially on an airplane. If I do unwind a little bit, documentaries I think are pretty cool. Yeah. I like to learn the different stories or scenes. Kind of behind. I think there was a documentary about Obama's last year, which I didn't get all the way through. But yeah, that's one of my latest interests.
Yeah, I just watched the documentary on the Eagles and their heyday and their breakup, and I love that stuff. I wish there were more good concert programs. One of my go-tos when I'm traveling, to go back to Springsteen, is by the way, if you're a music fan, 25th anniversary Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It's because it's Stevie Wonder playing with Sting, and B.B. King playing with Jeff Beck, and Springsteen playing with U2. It's this incredible just sequence of great artists playing some of their own and then mixing it with other great artists. Bonnie Raitt, who's one of the greats of all time. It's incredible. But I'll watch Springsteen's put out a couple of concert videos that do capture what he's like live. I love that. And also another recommendation, Black and White Night. Roy Orbison, near the end of his career and his life, just put on like a show, and with a who's who backing band, including Bonnie Raitt and Springsteen and Tom Waits and all those, Elvis Costello, and it's just incredible music.
That would be really neat. It's funny that you mentioned the concert DVDs. I just was going through some stuff as one of my projects is trying to purge and a stack, because that was my thing. I love, because my parents did that. We watched the Bee Gees, all the time, and we watched, I think Neil Diamond was one of my mom's favorites, and Elvis Presley, Aloha from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So those were big things. And so, of course, we repeat some of the behaviors. And so I have a stack of DVDs of different artists that I've enjoyed. And so I love popping those in. So when when you haven't done something for a long time, you go, I want to pop that in. So I could see me, taking, again, because it's a one-time thing, I can do it. I don't have to worry about coming next week and falling behind. So, I love music. I'm not as good of, I think knowing all the titles by artists.
You don't have to. It's for your enjoyment. It's not a job.
Yeah, I hear you. And I was better when I was younger. When I was during the Tina Turner and the Rod Stewart and George Michael, when he first came onto the scene, that's when I was really into it. My first concert was actually Bryan Adams.
Wow.
In Philadelphia. That was my first concert. I did see George Michael. The only concert I've ever cried at was George Michael. And I thought he was really sexy, which is kind of funny.
Well, my wife and I have seen just a succession of the greats the last few years, and it's been really rewarding. And, Springsteen, to me, is always going to have like the top 10 concert experience I've ever had have been Springsteen. But I'll tell you what, seeing Elton John live in Vegas in a theater was great. We're going to see him when he comes to Minneapolis. And, he doesn't jump on the piano the way he used to, but
Right.
he's just still such a great songwriter, great artist. His band has been doing it forever. That's a highlight as well.
Great entertainer. We'll be at that same concert. We're taking the father-in-law.
Oh, great.
To see Elton John for his birthday. So, but my other artist that I absolutely love, it's my only Spotify playlist when I work out is Pink. I think she is an absolutely.
And she puts on a great show as well.
Tremendous show. Tremendous artist,
Yep.
Stands for a lot of great things. Is from Philadelphia, so a lot of cool things.
I'm going to give you a few recommendations in case you ever decide to waste your life watching TV. And the obvious ones, The Wire is probably the greatest TV show ever
Everyone
done.
says that.
And I've had people tell me, hey, I couldn't get through the first couple episodes. It's not an easy watch. It takes an investment in time. It takes an investment in patience. I know, but it's the most sociological. It's incredible. I'm not going to go on a long Wire rant because it's a cliche for a white male sports writer to rant about Springsteen and The Wire, and that's what I'm doing. I'll just say that once you've watched it, you go, oh my God. One that's under the radar that I'll recommend, and it was written by Elmore Leonard, which is one of the reasons I got onto it. Justified.
Okay.
Incredible writing, incredible characters.
Is that Netflix?
That should be Netflix, yeah. And let's see, Breaking Bad, everybody knows about.
I watched a couple episodes of that.
And Sopranos is great, but it's also a difficult watch.
Never watched Sopranos.
I'll stop there. Again, a lot of these it's cliche to say Game of Thrones or Sopranos, whatever. Justified is the best one I've ever watched that isn't on everybody's top 5 list.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm going to put that on my list like I said, I've developed when I was over in Tenerife and sitting around and talking to players. I was kind of building my watch list. I'm not sure how it's going to land for me, but there was a couple of movies I'm trying to find. So there was on Amazon Prime, The Americans.
Oh, that's another one of the great ones.
That's good.
It's brilliant. Yeah, and the thing is, you watch it, you go, okay, that's a documentary.
Yeah.
It's just so real because, I'm a huge World War II into the Cold War era buff, and I've read about, and it's very relevant today, I've read about, basically as soon as America won the Cold War, as soon as the wall came down in Berlin, we celebrated, and Russia said, okay, we can't beat them by conventional means. We're going to have to use subterfuge and espionage, and we're going to have to trick them. And they've been doing it ever since, and The Americans is an example of how they do it.
What about Staircase?
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
I'm going to put that on my list, though. Just check it out.
All right. And, of course, the movie called Wonder, I need to see. That's, I'm told, is a
I have
good,
not seen that
movie.
one yet.
And then one that Oliver should see as well.
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'll check out those on my next couple of trips here. I just wanted to do an offbeat show. We don't always have to, as they say, pound the rock. Don't always have to stand out at center court and dribble when there's not a lot going on. And I know you're a person of diverse interests, so I wanted to kind of get at that. Any basketball news or notes you want to bring up before we bow out here?
Well, I'm excited for the start of the NBA season. It gives me something else to watch besides some of these shows that we talked about.
Right.
But and I will be guilty of that. I love the game of basketball. Love the NBA. There are teams I love to watch. Obviously I'm hopeful that the Wolves, can, put this difficult preseason behind them and get pointed in the right direction and be as good as they can be, because they were pretty good last year up until Butler's injury. So hopefully with a couple of the additions of the guys, a little more experience in Towns and Wiggins and Jimmy getting focused means that there'll be some wins over here at the Target Center. Today does mark the shifting gears, the 3 week mark until we get to the polls to vote, and so I'm all about